We always called each other good fellas. Like you said to somebody, you're gonna like this guy. He's alright. He's a good fella. He's one of us. You understand? We were good fellas. We were wise guys. I'm sure we all know this quote from Martin Scorsese's film Goodfellas, which has been noted as the film that was closest to capturing the life of people involved with the mafia. This film follows the character Henry Hill and his accomplices from 1955 to 1980, and Henry Hill is played by Ray Liotta. We first meet Henry as a teenager in 1955 and is brought into the mafia from the taxi station that's run right down the street from him on the corner in Brooklyn, New York. Early on in his career, he was paired up with his long-term partners in crime, Tommy DeVito, who was the same age, had the same experience. They were both just getting their feet wet in the business. And the other one was Jimmy Conway, who was already a master of hijacking trucks and robberies. The trio ended up being long-term friends and family even through the following years and through their experiences that they shared, like killing, robbing, stealing, beating, and drugs. Henry started running drugs from Pittsburgh to Brooklyn and all throughout New York in the 1960s. His mentor and boss, Paul Cicero, did not like drugs at all. Nevertheless, his man selling copious amounts of them. So, Paulie sends Henry and Jimmy down to collect debts from this man that Paul gambles with a lot. And this man ends up being the brother of an FBI typist. And they are arrested and convicted and receive a 10-year sentence. Henry's wife Karen then starts smuggling drugs into the prison for Henry to sell to the other inmates so that they could have money in the prison to buy things and so his family could stay afloat outside of the prison, as well as having a good foundation for when he gets out of prison. After they finish their sentences, Jimmy sets up what is called the Lufthansa heist at the JFK International Airport, which is one of the biggest heists, well, was the biggest heist in America at the time, and it amounted to almost $6 million. A few of the members started buying flashy items and nice cars and everything, bringing unwanted attention to the crew, and that caused Jimmy to have to make some precautionary measures. He started having a lot of them whacked, so to say. Um, all throughout the 70s, and by 1980 Henry was a mess of paranoia, stress, and the heavy use of drugs. Guns and drug running are still a very prominent part of his life, and it's the only thing he really knew how to do at this point. That's how he went through his life. He gets arrested again right outside his house for drug trafficking. Karen's mom puts up her house for bail, and he comes home to find that Karen flushed about $60,000 worth of drugs down the toilet, meaning that his family had $0. They were broke. So now he goes to Polly. Polly is betrayed by him doing drugs and selling drugs just like he told him not to. And Paul gives Henry $3,200 just to keep him afloat and cuts all ties. Paranoia from Jimmy killing all the other crew members sets Henry off, shoves him off the edge, and he goes into the witness protection program and he testifies against Jimmy and Polly at the end of the movie, and they are then convicted and arrested. And they end up serving almost 20 years in prison, and Jimmy dies in prison actually. Now Henry lives just a normal life as if nothing were to happen. And he still, to this day, is one of the most well-known mobsters and still has a hit for over $1 million on his head. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my little review of Goodfellas, and thank you for your time.